They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Outlet Pass Podcast. I am your resident JT McConnell, the homie's homie. More importantly, my real name, Justin DiVirgilio. It's episode 15. I didn't say the name or the number of the episode in the beginning. Joining me again for a second consecutive week for the first time in, I think, in a while is my good friend, Dante Parentozzi. How you feeling tonight, Don?
Yo, it's good. I'm not feeling too happy after that L.
Yeah, me either. I can't even lie. I dozed off like for a couple minutes. It's been a long day, and I wound up falling asleep and like waking up and staying in tune for that last fourth quarter of the Sixers and Bucks, which just ended about 20 minutes ago.
Debacle.
Wow. All right. So, let's actually just get into it because since it's on your mind, we are going to talk about the Sixers losing to the Bucks. Just happened on TNT. Anything that really stuck out to you?
Ben wasn't aggressive enough. They can't keep leaving Joel at the top. They gotta work on getting him down low more. He just can't be taking the 3-point shots. He took, I think, 30 shots today, or 29 or 30 shots. That's just so much.
Okay, I can see.
And like they weren't in the right spots. There wasn't as many as there should have been down low. Out of those 30.
I would love to see the shot chart, but I can concur that he did take a lot of outside the paint shots, which is not his bread and butter.
But a lot of blame should go on Ben tonight for not being aggressive, not scoring the ball, and obviously not having Jimmy as a closer hurts us a lot.
Not having Jimmy, I mean, yeah, it hurts, and I wanted to see him play because when the Sixers beat the Bucks not too long ago, all four guys played great. Jimmy, Joel, Tobias, and Ben. But in this game, it was like Ben Simmons wasn't on the floor, to be honest. I can't even lie. He would just get taken out of the game at certain points. His stat line doesn't even really say much. He has 13 assists, which is great, but that's because J.J. Redick and Mike Scott combined for 11 threes. So that's probably where he got those. He only took 5 shots tonight.
He needs to be more aggressive.
I don't enjoy or even recommend like that he gets discouraged like that. I can't watch it. It's like everybody who is a Ben Simmons detractor, they will point to games like these and say he will more or less be like that in big games because he is not as developed yet. And it helps their case of what they think he is and will be.
You're spot on that. Like, people have a field day on this tomorrow. I didn't get it that at the end of the first half he had 4 points, I think. And I was just like, I'm not saying he scores 30 a night, but 4 points at halftime. Come on. Against one of the best team in the league in terms of the standings. They got to come off the play a little more.
Yeah, he scored his first 2 in the last minute off a JJ screen, which is a great play. It was a great play and layup. But I was like, wow. His first 2? at that point in the game, it was fine because the Sixers were still within neck and neck of the Bucks. And for the most part, the game was well fought. Giannis did what he does, got 45, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks. It was impressive.
No turnovers.
How many? No turnovers?
And 0. Crazy.
That's all right. He hit 3 threes in the game. George Hill and Chris Middleton combined for 42. That's the only other guys who really beat the Sixers. The thing that really killed the Sixers was the fourth quarter, which is really opposite of this team. If you ask anybody, if whoever you talk to, it's always the third quarter. But the Sixers gave up 46 points in the fourth quarter tonight.
Wow.
And the Bucks shot 70% from the field in that fourth quarter. I just that's not.
At the end of the game, they just ran the floor and literally there was just lapses on defense as well, which was kind of frustrating to see. So I know 70% is obviously amazing, but some of that's contributed to those fast breaks or just those defense errors.
Yeah, it's
once again Jimmy being missed.
That's true. It's interesting you said fast break because the Sixers were actually outscored 29-14 on the fast break, which that's it's also the Sixers' bread and butter to run the break. The Bucks do it, and the Sixers do it. And granted, like we can't be too blown away that the Bucks scored this high volume of points because they are the highest scoring team in the league.
Oh yeah,
it's
sure.
just the way it happened in the fourth. Like the fourth quarter is not good at all.
Was this a good night to play Zaire the way you did, and Jonah pairing him up with Joel sometimes, Shake with some minutes? I just thought there was some things that I didn't expect at this Bucks game. I thought that would have been more of a last night's look. I mean, there was no Joel, so obviously the Jonah and Joel combo couldn't be tried, but they gave like a good amount of minutes, I would say, to Zaire.
They did. Shake and Zaire both got 18 minutes apiece. Jonah Bolden got 20. Now, as an interesting point, and in most cases, I would agree with you because playing the Hawks and then playing 3 of your rookies, big minutes for the first time this season, yeah, you do that against the Hawks. But we just said the stats. The Sixers got outscored by 15 on the fast break. All those guys are young and can run up and down the court and can stick with the break as best as possible instead of guys like Boban or Amir Johnson or Greg Monroe, who's a new signing, or TJ for not as much because he'll just get switched onto the wrong guy and they could go after him.
Right.
It was interesting to see. I thought the rookies looked good, to be honest.
I think that Zaire probably let up some buckets that he regrets on defense.
Well, it is his second NBA game. Second or third, so it's just bad timing.
But yeah, you put him against the Bucks. I just kind of throw him into the fire there.
The Shake Milton jump ball on Giannis convinced me that Shake Milton's going to win Defensive Player of the Year one day. Too soon?
Too soon.
Yeah, I don't know. That got me super hyped. I can't.
But I was hyped about that.
I can't even lie. But dude, that was just a very disappointing game. Like it didn't even feel like the crowd was ever in it. It felt like more of the second half, the Sixers were slowly losing it the entire time.
Did you feel scared at all with any of the Embiid stuff going down? He went down like 3 times in the game.
The one that was scary is when he fell flat back.
Oh, the back, yeah, that wasn't.
Just because he's a big guy, and anybody hitting the floor that hard, you're going to lose the wind in your body for a couple seconds. But he toughed it out. So salute to Joel. Is that all we got on this Bucks game? Because I got a little something to talk about Joel.
Hit me with some Joel.
Well, in high school, he has a quote. His coach, He has a quote, guys would push me all over the place and used to make fun of me. Coach Kevin Boyer, Monteverde Academy, kicked me out of practice. He stayed back and told everybody, keep making fun of him. In 3-4 years, y'all going to be asking him for a loan.
That's facts.
It's crazy that he's right.
And it took a little longer than 3-4 years, though. At that point, right? Because at that point, he was trash.
He was hurt.
Yeah. Well, no. Before he was hurt, Montverde, when was he, like, bad? First couple of years, and then he got better?
Yeah, I feel like that would be in, like, his sophomore or junior year.
Yeah, his junior. Yeah, did he start at 15 or 16? What was it?
15.
Crazy. Oh, man. He's so athletically gifted.
But actually, I have some other quotes because in the game tonight, how can we miss this about the Bucks game? I feel like sometimes when we talk about the Sixers games, we miss like really big moments. The game started off with fireworks immediately when the Bucks made a shot or something, yeah, and Eric Bledsoe and Joel Embiid were wrestling for the rebound, and Eric Bledsoe threw a little elbow into Embiid a little bit. Embiid got the ball and threw it at him, and Eric Bledsoe wasn't having that real quick and just chucked it right back at him. And guess who stepped up to be the enforcer right away? You guessed it. No. No.
What do you saw? What you mean?
The regional manager, baby.
Don't give me Mike Scott.
He was the first one. He was about to smoke.
Oh my God!
He was a chimney.
Go rewatch. Ben was about to drop Brooke. Little bitch ass.
Nah, he was. Mike Scott was first. He went. He went to the smoke. He went to Eric Bledsoe. He was the chimney. He went right at him.
Oh my God!
And
I really thought it was Ben. Really thought it was. All right, that's your guy.
Bias coming out. Guy. It's your bias coming out.
That is. That's why I had my eyes on when that happened. Not gonna lie.
But I have like one cool Mike Scott quote from
Hit me with it.
Elton Brand in an interview he did a couple weeks ago by it was on the Sixers Instagram on their story. I made sure I screenshotted it. So he says, quote, the night I was traded from LA, Elton Brand texted, called, and said, welcome back. We're back together. We're trying to win some things. Turn it up this year.
Turn it up. He's right.
He talked about...
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, he had an incredible game tonight. He also talked about how he kind of views himself like a Philly fan. So that's also why I have a bias towards Mike Scott.
Yeah, I liked his energy. He's got the cool sway about him. And but I'm like last night I was looking at the plus minuses from the Hawks game, and I don't know how much you read into that, but he had the worst on the team last night, and I was just thinking, I don't know if it was just because he got paired with bad lineups, or should we actually focus on his defense more and see what's up? So next couple games, I'm gonna be watching that a lot because he might get leaned on a little more as a shooter and as a defender if they need that more out of him from those good bench minutes, you know.
Yeah.
He's the guy you look to from the bench now. That's the truth. That's just what it is.
He is the best acquisition that didn't involve a trade for the Sixers this year. Oh wait, no, he was in a trade.
Yep.
That's
He was in a trade.
Dummy. I don't even know what's going on.
It's all right. It'd be like that sometimes.
For sure. You want to talk about, let's see, Jimmy Butler on Hot Ones. Even though Jimmy Butler wasn't playing tonight, he's been doing a lot of media, which I thought was, I mean, I'm a big fan of Hot Ones, so I was ecstatic when I saw him on it. If you guys don't know, Hot Ones is a show on YouTube where 10 wings get lined up. Sean Evans, the host, and a celebrity guest eat 10 of the hottest wings while doing a very informative interview. And you get to see how people actually react. Was this your first time watching Hot Ones?
No. Me and Kiara watch it. I've seen the Joel one, of course. I've seen the Gordon Ramsay one, which is hysterical. Yeah, more than you think. I've seen a good amount of them. What other Hot Ones episodes have we watched?
Panning off air. Let's go to Kiara.
We're panning off. Yeah, we've seen a good majority of them. I think the Gordon Ramsay one's one of the better ones. That's hysterical.
What was your favorite moment from the Jimmy one?
I think he was telling some good stories. I love how he exactly told you where the Olympic gold medal was. I thought that was hysterical. He was like, it's in my top drawer to the left, second to top drawer to the left, and a towel wrapped up. That's what he said. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But how about the Mellow with the wine? Mellow dipped out with the wine. That was funny, too.
Classic Mellow move.
Of course.
I really liked how he talked about his mentality from junior college. And it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah, it really is with that stuff. I mean, a guy's trying to shine. They're going to do every means necessary, right, to do such.
You may not get that ball back, like you said. What else happened on that Hot Ones? I feel like he was having a tough time, but like he did well enough.
Oh my God! I don't think those wings were nearly as spicy as how like Gordon Ramsay suffered, because Gordon Ramsay was like really out here. Come on, Jimmy Butler can't handle it. He said he's not even a hot guy. I don't understand how he got through it so easy. That wasn't even tough for him.
I don't know either. I don't know if that was like a stunt.
I think it was.
I don't know if he was flexing like, I don't really handle hot food, and then just went in and it was calm. I like how he was mirroring Sean Evans. He was so competitive with it. He's like, if you drink the milk, I'm gonna drink the milk. If you don't drink the milk, I'm not gonna drink the milk.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a dog like that. Do you like Sean Evans?
Yeah, I think he does a great job with that show.
I think he's a little corny, but like not too bad. So I'm okay with it for the time being. But if someone else became a host, I wouldn't complain. Sorry.
I don't even know if that's possible since it's his show.
Well, somebody can always get bought out. People like that show,
That's true. They're doing great views on YouTube now. And
did you see that?
Hold on.
Did you see?
Yeah.
Did you see that Jimmy Butler is always with the celebrities like that? I didn't realize that. Like with Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? I knew about the AB and the bet. That's funny.
Oh, that was that was
hypothetically.
Hypothetically, I bet $10,000 hypothetically, and he beat me 3 times hypothetically in the red zone. Hypothetically, he caught the passes hypothetically. If that happened hypothetically, and he just kept saying
pay up. He said, "Pay up."
But at least Jimmy got by Clay.
Oh, of course.
And in the clip, Clay says, "I didn't know he had that in him." Like after he caught it, he was a little bit by him. I caught that on like the second go around watching it. You want to talk about Jimmy Butler's other interview this week?
Yeah, sure.
He was on Take It There with Bleacher Report's Taylor Rooks. He decided not to speak on free agency this summer. Smart man. Which I didn't see why he would, but being a good journalist, she asked the question. Respect. I thought he was really natural. I enjoy watching him just talk. I really like Jimmy Butler. That's a thing. I love his YouTube channel.
I'm to like him more.
And it's just he's disappointing.
That's how I feel.
He's disappointing in the past few months, kind of. At least defensively, what's happened in the one Hawks game where Trae Young hit the floater, where Jimmy really wasn't playing any type of defense. He got caught on the hezzy. Just, I don't know. It's up in the air, but I know he wants to. He's going to play hard, and he's ready for the playoffs, I think.
I hope he will be.
Let's see. He loves playing with Embiid. He
said that he likes the competitive nature he has and how he just wants to like tell him he's going to work him and then he's going to go do it, go put buckets on his head.
And he confirmed what I think I already knew, and one of the reasons why I like him. He likes confrontation. He
does it. It drives him.
He'll own up to it, and he likes it. It fuels him, just like you said. Last thing I thought was interesting because people never understood why Jimmy Butler loved country music. He finally explained why he started listening to country, because teammates would be blasting their Beats headphones on the bus, and he would ask them to turn it down, and he said, no, mind. They would say, no, mind your business. So I said, all right, cool. So he walked on the bus one day, blasting Tim McGraw. They were like, yo, turn that down. He said, oh, wait, you guys told me to mind your business, so remember what you said, mind your business. And then he actually started liking country. Don?
Jimmy Butler.
All right. Your sound was gone for a while.
Yeah, it's called mute. In the business world, when you're hearing something beautiful, I let you have your time. I say, you know what, I'm going to go on mute so I can let Justin have his whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Little pro tip. But, no, he's you know, Jimmy Butler going to do him. Always will do him. That's kind of how he feels.
This is heavy Sixers talk. What
else you got for me?
I think the last game we could cover is, the one thing we could say is congratulations to J.J. Redick for passing Steve Nash on the all-time three-point shooting list at 21st and becoming the Sixers' leading three-point shooter. Was it ever or in a season?
In a season. I'm pretty sure it's in a season.
Because I didn't hear them say that against the Hawks last night, and I was like, wait, we have some really shitty three-point shooters if J.J. Redick beat the record in 2 seasons, or J.J. Redick's just that incredible of a shooter.
Yeah, it was a seasonal stat, yeah. Shout out to Beats. He wanted that reported very much so. All right, you're happy, Tom? Thank you.
Yeah. The last game I think we could talk about before we get off the Sixers is the Timberwolves game. Jonah Bolden coming out party. 19 points at like 6 threes. Rang the bell. Jimmy Butler was booed every time by Timberwolves fans. Every time he touched the ball.
Most assists all season for him, right?
Most rebounds.
Most rebounds.
Had a terrible shooting night, though. And then also the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast was there because of their Fly the Process. And I think that went kind of viral on social media where they got to meet Dario and Robert Covington after the game. I thought it was pretty cool. It's a great representation of our fandom collectively.
For sure. And their appreciation for us as well, I feel like, is also plays a part.
So shout out to them for putting a good name for Philly. You want to get into like a little playoff preview? Like who are you feeling as of today?
From what? Like who do I think is going to win it all, or who do I feel like is a dark horse? Who do you think can be a Western Conference team that we didn't expect to be there?
Who is your finals?
My finals?
Yeah.
Damn, yo. Shit. All right, so the Warriors, and I'd like to think that the Raptors, actually. So that's what I got for you. I mean, that's...
Okay.
I truly think that a 7-game, it's going to be different. Who do you got?
I don't even know if I want to reveal that right now. Only because...
How do you put that on me?
Because you are not going to be participating in next week's Outlet Pass playoff pod NBA playoff preview.
Okay.
So all the people listening, you're going to have to tune in to next week's episode where we will have an extensive playoff preview. And also, quick little announcement is that every week throughout the playoffs, since it's more minimized games, we will be doing a podcast every single Friday. Of course,
Bang, bang.
Dante may or may not be on every single one because of his busy life, much to my chagrin. But it's all right. We're gonna get some of the crew, some of the people that show love, and just friends who want to talk about basketball and playoff basketball with me. So look out for that. I just had to get that in before we do the playoff preview. So Warriors, Raptors.
Quick little get in. Jusuf, I know you're going to be listening tomorrow. Reach out to us. I'm sure we'll get you on one of these playoff ones. You know what's good. We'll chat tomorrow. All right. I'm sorry. Keep going.
That's cool. Shout out to Joe. Even though there's a billion Joes, but you know who you are.
He knows who he is. I said Jusuf.
Oh, all right. Good point. Now, I don't want to get into this, but I have to because I saw it live and it was in my brain forever. Jusuf Nurkic getting injured against the Brooklyn Nets. What's this, the third breaking, bone injury in the past 2 years in the NBA?
Dude, that's a brutal looking. Oh.
I was watching the game in real time.
You don't want to see that.
Absolutely not. That game was a very, very entertaining game. It was in the first overtime he got hurt.
Let me tell you this too. And I was pounding the door on the Trailblazers this year. And I kept saying, all right, they're going to be like the dark horse. I told a lot of people I was really liking them to be like the Western Conference Finals, lose in it, but be there. I just thought they were just clicking. But, that just kind of went out the window with losing him. He's a great player.
I don't know about great because Ben Simmons called him ass. So I kind of lean towards Ben. He's definitely a really good player. He's their third best player. And where he was really feeling like himself at this point, I think it's a real just terrible situation. Seeing it in real time, I grabbed my leg. I grabbed where he got hurt.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. You got to check yourself.
That thing had me shook. I was shook over it for a couple days. I was like, oh my God. It didn't even, he was going in normal for an offensive rebound, got in the right position, and just fell down like a ton of bricks. It just completely snapped.
You saw me tonight. I was texting nervous about Joel. Any little thing now, I'm constantly thinking is an injury like that because that's what you see. That's just something that you think of now.
That's where me and you differ. I don't even think about that. I try and keep that as far out of my brain as possible until it happens, just because I don't ever want to be focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you see the video later on that the ref accidentally hit his injured leg, barely?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
When stepping over him, he stepped over him, and nothing, he nicked the leg. It was just really bad. Why are you stepping over a player, and then especially a guy where you see the bone coming out? What is wrong? Are you not thinking? I don't know. I just thought that was worth mentioning. One of my friends brought that up to me. I was, it's just terrible.
Yeah, I never saw it, so I didn't. I saw it, but I didn't recognize that at the moment. That's not my first reaction is actually probably to close my eyes and not look at the ref.
It was actually in one of them. You know how the internet investigates, so they got a different angle. They zoomed in a little bit, and you could see it's just the ref and Nurkic, and you see him step over.
I'll have to look after this.
Brutal. I don't know if you really want to, but
true.
Devin Booker has really been going off. And I have to admit, I've been wrong about Devin Booker by comparing him, maybe not on the podcast, but if I did, just in case. Hey, guys, I can admit when I'm wrong, just in case for people think I can't, including myself. Devin Booker is anywhere close to a comparison of Zach LaVine, which I've compared them before. Maybe it's because they similar games. They look maybe a little similar. I don't know.
I don't know. God.
No, I'm serious. Similar positions, but Devin Booker has gone off in his past 3 games, going for 59 against the Jazz, 50 and 10 against the Wizards, and 48 and 11 assists, against the Grizzlies, where he was 2 points shy of joining Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, MJ, Kobe as the only players with 3 straight 50-point games. Yeah, that 70-point game is not a fluke, just in case people need to be updated from a couple years later. And it's not like Devin Booker has not been getting better as well.
I was looking at his stats today. He literally averages 26.6 points a game, almost 7 assists and 4 rebounds. Those are some serious numbers. So when they land one of these top 2-3 players in the draft, I think finally you'll start seeing something out of them. The West is so hard. I get that. But they should also have some free agent money. So hopefully they land like a good like a top 2 pick. Oh my gosh. Somebody will want to go there.
So
get paid.
Devin Booker, DeAndre, and Ja Morant.
Talk to me. Let's get it.
Does that nucleus among other players like Josh Jackson, Kelly Oubre, TJ Warren, do they have an Atlanta Hawks type rise where they are much better than people expected in their first year altogether? Like the Hawks were this year? Like getting 29 wins. Like that's a success for them next season.
I think that's probably fair. I think that's fair if they get Ja Morant, because I don't think RJ would want to lose, to be honest. Like I see whatever team RJ goes to, they'll probably have the biggest gap of wins from the year prior.
All right.
I think he wants to win, and Ja doesn't know really winning as much. I mean, he won obviously in their respective games. Murray State did what they did, but RJ as Canada beat the U.S. Come on, let's go.
RJ, he'll be better I think he'll be better than most of the class in his first year.
For sure. And then he'll have the best career as well.
Ooh. All right.
I feel that way.
Okay. Real quick, just another Devin Booker stat is that I was reading in an article that he contributed to 61% of the Suns' points this season, apparently. I may be misquoting either scoring or assisting because people say he can't play make, but his assists have gone way up this year. And I think that's a great thing to highlight, especially with somebody who was just a young star rising in the league.
I mean, it's nice to have Ayton underneath as well. There's a little more of a presence. So when they run stuff through their offense, he could score the ball. It's not like Booker's the only one. So, yeah.
Okay.
The assumption that's how he's kind of getting his assists. He's not really a point guard making assists tight cuts and stuff. But I bet it's more like inside passes. DeAndre Ayton does a little bit.
I've seen he's a playmaker.
The Suns are still at the bottom. The Suns are going to be the Suns for a bit still. I'm hoping that they do something. I would wish for a better player to go there in the short term to jolt them.
Well, Phoenix is a nice place.
Give me some Amari, Steve Nash type wins. I mean, they got to happen for a while, but wishful thinking.
Pipe dreams. Since we're talking about the Suns, I feel like we should just talk about more teams that are closer to where the Suns are or mediocre. Chris Bosh's jersey got retired with the Miami Heat. I know it's a terrible way to segue such a great honor for Chris Bosh. Congratulations. You deserve it.
Chris Bosh. Tommy's favorite.
Yeah, he has an odd love for certain players.
Of course, that's something Tommy would do. You know, he couldn't pick the guy. He had to pick the off guy as the beaten path dude. Classic.
Is there a reason why he likes Chris Bosh the most?
I don't know, but he's a giraffe-looking boy. He has no reason. He would just say Bosh.
I think he just liked his name, like a true child.
And me and Jet liked Braun.
Braun.
Jet didn't like Wade. I don't know. He's really a D Wade hater.
Yeah, I can't understand that either.
He voted this week on the podcast and said that the Heat were sadly going to be in or something like that. He thinks they're going to get into the playoffs. As of right now, though, the Magic just jumped into the 8th spot. Did you see that?
Oh, really? All right.
Oh, yeah. Damn right. I mean, they're playing the best basketball in the East right now. I mean, not from a player standpoint. I'm saying from like a win in the past 10 games type look.
Well, yeah.
That'd be too crazy to say. But I mean, yeah, I think they're like 8-2. 8-2. Give me that all day. The Sixers are like definitely not that. Like they're like 6-4 or 5-5 right now.
The Sixers in their last 7, I believe, are 4-6. Four out of 6. They're 4.
4 out of 6.
2
really?
4.
Okay.
Can't even do math.
They're 2-4. There we go. We lost 4 games.
And since you mentioned the Magic, I forgot to talk about the possible playoff opponents for the Sixers. All 3 of those teams have given the Sixers problems this year. The 4 teams that are candidates can all give the Sixers problems. I don't think the Sixers will have an easy walk in the park first round. They may win in 5 games, but it will be difficult for sure.
I agree. And are we making these type of reactions right now because of how we see them play the last few games? Do you think that's why we're speaking like this? Because, when everyone was healthy and we had no problems, I think I would have said that we would have beat our first round opponent in 4 games.
It's in the ingredients.
It's tough to sweep, but we have this responsive attitude right now because we've seen some losses.
Well, yeah, this is reactionary, but it's definitely in there. But I'm just basing it off a track record. Like, although it's a completely different team from that horrific Detroit game at the beginning of the season, Blake Griffin still gives the Sixers problems. And
he does.
Then the other players can feed off that. Then the Nets have given the Sixers problems this year and last year. It's the same team.
And last year, both, yeah.
And now the Magic always give the Sixers problems because they have one of the most dominant low post presences, in the league. Underrated, too. First All-Star selection, Nick Vucevic. And then the Heat, for some reason, are the closest rival to the Sixers besides the Celtics. In my mind.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, because of last year's series, you think?
Yeah. I would say so. It's just, it's scary right now. Let me take that back. Not scary.
This Buck stuff's building up. If that becomes some traction later on, I would love to see them 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be awesome. But for some reason, I feel like the Raptors might just pull it out. Ugh, can't believe I'm saying that.
I think it would be their year. Like, on paper, that makes sense. That's all I'll say about that. Now,
you think most improved player goes to Siakam?
He's certainly a candidate. That is a lot closer. I think the most improved player and rookie of the year are going to be closer in votes than the MVP.
Wow, you really feel that way?
Just because
I don't know who I would vote for MVP still.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I have a feeling that the writers are going to give it to James Harden again.
They should.
I don't know. I was kind of on board, but it's like we could talk about that now. The way he cheats the game, kind of.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw that earlier. I sent that to you. I think I was bothered by that guy's comment. I'm not a fan of saying that's taking away the game of basketball. So a guy can't have good one-on-one skills in an isolation ball.
See, no, that's not what he's saying. I will argue for. Let's get his name out there. LA Clippers analyst Don McLean.
I when I first read it, I thought it was the dude that created American Pie when I first saw it. And I was like, wait, that ain't his name. That's why it has like an extra A in it. So I knew it wasn't McLean. But yeah, that dude's got a trash opinion. I wasn't about it.
Let me try and rationalize what he's trying to say. So what James Harden does is that seeking for the littlest amount of contact where the refs cater the game towards the offense. And James Harden knows that the defense knows that they have to give him a certain amount of airspace, even though the best way to defend an elite one-on-one player like James Harden is to take away his airspace. The ability and the amount of room he has to function and maneuver to get into his offense, into what he wants to do. So if he's drawing just a little bit of contact, or even the guy's arms to go straight up and him leaning into them, getting a foul, stuff like that, it slows the game down. It leans towards the analytical portion of basketball, which now it's the best things to have are 3-point shooters and free throw shooters. Like, you got to get 3-pointers or free throws. So, with all that being said, and I kind of agree with him in a way, because I tweeted a video out on was it on my Twitter of I was watching James Harden highlights from the Kings game the other night, and he legit in front of the ref on the right wing, he was getting into something, and he like threw his shoulder into De'Aaron Fox and like moved De'Aaron Fox back a couple steps. They didn't call a foul. Like, he deliberately threw his shoulder and moved him, and they didn't call a foul. It's clearly a foul.
Well, he'll get some calls too, but you know what I mean? What do you expect?
I expect it not to be so deliberately cheating.
I mean, the refs miss calls all the time. The refs miss calls tonight. The ball went out of bounds, and they called it out on the Sixers. That made me sick tonight. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
see, those ones are different.
The game was going to change, but
that's different. I think that's a bad example.
Just catering to the game in terms of fouls. You think fouls are different than missing calls? Is that what you're saying? You're right. I'm sorry. I misinterpreted that a little bit, but
only because like missing a call like that.
Shit in the bed. Refs stay shit in the bed anymore.
Yeah, missing a call like that where hands are like 2 hands are flying in, and you don't know, you can't like always tell who hit it. Like, that stuff's different.
Right.
When he's trying to get some space for a 3-pointer and move,
you can see that.
Yeah, it was right in front of him. Like, if you watch the video, it's literally right in front of the ref.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll digress with that one. You want to get into Steph's
MVP.
top 5?
Yeah, hit me with it.
All right, his top 5 in order. This is in order: Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, and Magic Johnson. I think it's a pretty good top 5.
That's not in order, right?
He said it that way.
Okay, so it's not in order, though, because what he did for you, and this is what I saw basketball players say, I'm pretty sure Gilbert said it. He's like, when basketball players do top 5s, they put them top. Some of them put it top 5 in terms of, a starting lineup. So if you look at it, all of them get plugged in somewhere.
I actually did think that. I was like, I read it afterwards. I was like, wait, that's like a starting lineup. That would work. The shooting's not incredible, but you don't really need that with that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, that lineup will just dominate athletically.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think it's a pretty good top 5.
That's the most athletic lineup you might ever have.
Really? All right. I'm not even going to, we don't even have to get into that.
We don't have to. But
okay.
Just the average height of everybody on that court is at least 6'6". Sheesh.
That's true. Another Steph Curry story came out. He got new contacts. He's been playing with blurred vision.
Did that get overhyped? So it's new contacts, right? I mean, was he not wearing ones before? Because it's hard to believe that his vision was blurry. Like, I'm not expecting him to be shooting 55% now. I don't want this to get overhyped.
No,
so
look,
I'm not gonna gas it.
all I'm trying to say is that that's what he said out of his mouth. I was just reading. I said, no, how does that even make sense? How are you that good at shooting, but you have blurred vision?
Yeah,
It may be a little suspect.
Yeah. Go see Beth Ann DiVirgilio. Go get your eyes checked, boy.
Go to Will's Eye, boy.
There we go. Plug Will's Eye. We're about to get some bread on that advertisement.
Yo, I want that back end. I want the residuals. Let's see. What else is there to get into? Big story.
Oh, yeah, this is a heartbreaker. Hit me with it. I know what you're about to say.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Yep.
Well, real quick, because I thought this was interesting. This preceded the big story. So there was a report, some type of rumor that the Mavericks plan on giving Porzingis a 5-year, $158 million extension. All right, cool. Normal NBA news, right? So then, maybe a week later, whenever the allegations came out, Kristaps Porzingis has allegedly raped a 29-year-old black woman from Manhattan, and apparently it happened on February 7th, 2018, the night he got hurt tearing his ACL against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, my first thought when I read this was, how are you this godly of a human, or this still, like, you still have the will to hold another human down with a torn ACL? I mean, it's a logical
thought. You can still operate on it. Can't you still operate on it? It's just
a fresh ACL tear.
I guess you're right, but there's a lot that went into that story. There was, some blackmail, a lot of drinking involved from one of the parties. She wanted a payment
now
for her brother's tuition. So and then the Knicks wanted to wash their hands clean of it.
Okay, yeah.
And he wanted out of Dallas. Does that have to play he wanted out of New York. Did that have to play a part? Like, I have to question that. Did he think that was never going to come out? Got to question that. Does he deserve that type of money now?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, his camp unequivocally denied the allegations. This is all alleged. We don't know. The formal referral was filed on December 20th, 2018. Now, I don't want to sound like the insensitive guy, but, like, how long is that waiting too long? Only because, I'll ask that because, like you said, the accuser went to the Knicks to mediate money out of Porzingis, specifically $68,000 of tuition money for her brother's college.
Right.
It's very suspect.
It is, but it was also weird. She wanted to maintain a relationship with him, but
again,
Kristaps agreed that he was going to pay it, and then decided not to. So I mean, it should have never happened in this first place, the situation. But
so this comes out.
16 is a drop in the bucket.
Okay,
I mean, come on.
So did this come out because
that it happened?
Did this come out because a woman was scorned? You promised me something because you did something to me that I'm not proud of at all. I don't want to live with, allegedly, of course.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And I want to be compensated in that way because I want to help out my brother. That's her side. Mm-hmm. Now, look, I don't know. It's just really hard to believe because, it's always positioned like this is such a terrible situation. Like, you want to side with the woman. But at the same time, this dude's 7'3", Latvian. Of course he's a target. What else does he do? He's a basketball player. You know who he is.
Well, he lives in
the same building.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But my first thought was, like I said earlier, how do you still how can you still rape somebody when you have an ACL tear?
I got no answers.
I get Kobe walked off the court. I understand. but raping someone takes a lot more force and energy than walking. I don't want to call that girl a liar either. I don't know anything. I'm just saying it looks a little fishy.
It's a little fishy.
Because I understand people who are victims wait a while because they don't know when to say it or how to say it or how people will feel about them. Get that. But then there's this side. And it comes out now. And apparently that he was traded. The Mavericks didn't know all the details. Or, that and the trade wouldn't have happened if the allegations were stronger. So that somebody has an inside tip that it isn't true. But the first report was that it's a strong source that it was true. I don't know, man.
Jeff,
the news bounces back and forth way too much.
In the market, there is always imperfect information. One side always knows more than the other. And New York took advantage of it.
Well, in the information age.
It's a good move by Dallas as well to get rid of,
Oh, that's also another thing. I can't believe. Thank God you mentioned Dallas because for some reason, he hasn't played with them yet, so sometimes I forget he's on the Mavericks. Is that the Mavericks don't want a possible rapist on their team after what they've dealt with in their front office with the sexual allegations?
Definitely do not. It's a bad look.
It's a terrible look. I don't know. I don't know who to believe. I hope it gets resolved. We'll find out when it will get resolved. Probably. Well, we'll definitely will. What else is there to talk about before we get into buy or sell? Hold on. Oh, did you see that Kate, D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell, and Kyrie are buddy apparently? Because
I didn't know that.
Thanks to the internet,
they show each other around.
Well, they follow each other on Instagram. That certainly counts for something on NBA social media. And apparently other reports came out that now Kyrie prefers the Nets over the Knicks. I'll just leave that lit. There. I don't know. Whatever.
That's lit.
It is interesting that they choose now to follow each other. Like, there is something to read into. But I can't read that much into it because we're about to be in the playoffs. Like, I don't care about free agency right now.
Yeah, true. Both those players got a lot of pop though in their like swag in basketball. They're always on House of Highlights, so they got a lot of exposure. And I mean, Kyrie is Kyrie, and D'Angelo's that boy.
Yeah, be interesting to see them play together. You want to get in the buy or sell?
We can get in the buy or sell.
All right. Now, buy or sell Blake Griffin's improvement this season being overlooked due to his team's success this season. Now, let me preface this question a little bit more with information. As of, I took this screenshot on Saturday. He is third in step-back threes among anyone this season with 41. James Harden's first with 216. Luka Doncic second with 73. Blake Griffin third with 41. That's where this question comes from.
He is the top 20 player in the league. People do forget about him. He has similar numbers to Devin Booker, but one's likely to be in the playoffs and the other one doesn't have a shot in the bucket. So Blake should get recognized a little more, but he'll still get busted 5 games in this first round because Detroit isn't that good. Sorry, Blake. Detroit ain't that good either.
I'll buy that his improvements being overlooked from a guy who is not a Blake Griffin fan. He's actually one of the few players I still dislike when he plays the Sixers. That's just me. Now,
That's
buy
fair.
or sell.
I can see that.
Buy or sell Kawhi Leonard being the best non-star type draw in the NBA.
I could buy that.
And
I think that's
I'll buy that as well.
Assessment.
Now,
I was trying to think of other guys that could be in that bucket, but I think that's spot head on. I think I had on. I'm really trying to think of one. Can't really think of one. Damn.
There's nobody who is less of a
LaMarcus
personality.
Aldridge?
Not it. Come on.
Was that close? I can't give you nothing, but
I think he's like a couple floors under Kawhi. Like
I know,
Kawhi
yeah,
is
I know.
talked about as an MVP. LaMarcus Aldridge, has never been mentioned as an MVP. That's what I mean.
True.
And this comes from Kawhi Leonard averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Wow.
He has the highest player efficiency rating in Raptors history and the highest win shares per 48 minutes in Raptors history.
That was quick.
Yeah, right?
Jeez.
So we
You
both
figured
buy
that
that
out.
one. Okay. I'm with
I
that.
know.
Now, buy or sell, any possibility that the Sixers get Zion Williamson?
So what would have to happen is Michael Rubin would have to buy his whole family a house, and Joshua Harris would have to then give away Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. No, I'm playing. There's no way. Crazy. Sell.
Okay, sell. Let me give you the scenario now. If the Kings win the lottery, the Sixers do. That was the picks we sent in the Fultz trade to Boston, and it was top 1 protected. Meaning if it is the first pick in the draft, the Sixers keep it. That would be the craziest draft of all time if the Sixers won the lottery and got Zion.
Wait, but what number do they have? What numbers are they going to fall in between?
With the Kings?
Because, yeah.
Kings will be high lottery picks, so they'll be like 13, 14.
Well, so they'll have like a less than a 1% chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I put the question in there.
I love the Kings got the first overall so they can get RJ. I mean, yep, that's what I said.
All right. Cool. And the final buy or sell. Buy or sell, a new conversation about Russell Westbrook needing to be had. And this stems from the 20 and 20 game.
You know, this is one of little Nick's favorite players. Shout out to little Nick. It was his birthday yesterday. But,
Happy birthday.
Russ was my guy, then he fell off, and then this NBA has allowed him to get those type of numbers. 2020 is so different, you know. I mean, the triple-double, the way he plays, he really allows himself to get triple-doubles like that. But 2020 is outstanding. I would have never expected that. Where do I buy him? I think he's probably the 3rd best point guard in the league. 3rd, fair.
Okay. I this is a weird conversation for me because I actually buy the question I'm asking, but when it comes to point guards I'd want to have on my team, he is maybe the 4th or 5th guy I pick.
Who do you got? Who you got ahead of him?
I got Steph.
ahead of him.
I got Dame.
Really? You got Dame ahead of him?
Yeah, I like Dame can shoot the threes, can get to the rim, takes contact, gets guys involved, works the pick and roll incredibly well. Like
a lot of things that Russ can do. You just said a lot of things Russ can do besides hit that 3.
I mean, I don't think he can create shots as well as Damian Lillard can.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
And he doesn't work the pick and roll as good as Damian Lillard, even though he has a better screen setter in the best screen setter in the NBA, according to Jimmy Butler. He has Steven Adams.
He put some stiff pieces out there. Let me tell you.
I guess maybe I'd take James Harden over him. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But with that, I mean, because Russell Westbrook, like, who gets 20 rebounds as a guard?
Russell Westbrook.
That's what I'm like.
That's that.
And him, like, the stat stuffing thing, I kind of believed for a little while, but it's like somebody who plays with so much energy and intensity, it's hard to say he's stat stuffing. I think he's just locked in and he thinks, this is what I got to do for the team to win tonight. I think that's his mentality with all the games.
To a certain extent, then you know when you're sniffing it out. and you see that you're close, he probably is going for it. But for sure, that's fair. He's trying to catch a dub.
Depending on like the score of the game, then it's a little different. But
playing against the trash Lakers, so that helps.
Yeah, well, that was a big game though. That was close. That was a big game for the Thunder to not be an 8 seed. Let's see where they're at right now because they might be in the most intriguing first round matchup in the NBA in the past 5 years.
Yeah, they got the 7th spot, 47 wins, 32 losses.
Dude, I want them to drop so bad. Just drop that game. I want to see Golden State, Oklahoma City, first round. I want to see KD and Russ get sensitive and fist fly or something happen. I want to see it.
It could happen. It's a half a game difference between the 7 and 8 right now, so it's very good chance.
3-4 games left.
How about them Clippers though? Oh my gosh, the 6-8-2 in the last 10 games. No All-Star on their team, doing what they're doing. Jeez. I mean, they're not going to win a first round. They're not going to. I'm just saying, it's cool to see a team like that get.
Who knows?
That's my prediction. Houston's going to take them down. Easy butter biscuits.
All right. Well, thank you for your prediction. We got your finals predictions. Oh, real quick prediction for how far the Sixers go.
Well, if my Raptors prediction is correct, then that would be a second round exit, which isn't amazing. But if they get through the Raptors, they will get through. They will get through and go to the finals if they get to the Raptors, because I feel like they can beat the Bucks.
All right.
Even though they lost tonight. But, a lot of things have to happen. I'll stick with my original Warriors Toronto, though. It's just wishful thinking. I'd like to see the Sixers go.
All right. Well,
what do you got? Oh, you don't want to do yours yet. I won't
you got
do
to
it.
tune in next week. NBA playoff pod, the Outlet Pass playoff pods. That's what we're doing.
There we go.
I had to promote.
Little shout out to Bryce Harper this week. I'd like to say that. Bang, bang. Good to be.
Oh, yeah.
Excited.
Shout out to Bryce Harper. Shout out to baseball season starting again, even though it's a basketball podcast. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Rest in power, rest in paradise. That affected the NBA this week. You saw Jimmy with the Nipsey Hussle jersey on?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Russ did that for Nipsey, the 2020 game. It was really, I don't know. It was a lot. It's been a lot.
It was a lot.
Wasn't great news to hear, but that's the show. That's the show for this week. Don, you got anything to say to the people before I get into plugs?
No, we in there.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, of course. The Outlet Pass podcast on Apple Podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe. On Spotify, like it, make it one of your top podcasts. On SoundCloud, the Outlet Pass podcast. Follow, like, repost, share. YouTube, the Outlet Pass podcast. Subscribe to my channel, Justin DiVirgilio. Like, comment, tell a friend, share. On Twitter, at @pass_podcast. And on Instagram, at the Outlet Pass podcast. Now, this has been the Outlet Pass podcast. The ball being our opinions, and we're passing it out to you. Peace.